Come with me to completely jack up this door. So this is going to be a two-part series, and in this part one, I'm going to be going through exactly where I went wrong and exactly where my head was at, what I was thinking, what led to the outcome, and I'll also talk about how I'm going to fix it in part two. So without further ado, let's definitely get into it. So as you guys know, I always have to start with prep. And so I already knew what I wanted to do with the door. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what I was going to do until it gets a little later in the video. But as you guys can see, that was the first color that I was using, and it was called In the Nick. And of course, it is Sherwin-Williams because I really love Sherwin-Williams paint. I think the quality is really good, and I definitely think that it's worth the investment. So, as always, got to go in with the first layer here. And I usually do 2 and 2. And in this video, I actually did not do 2 and 2. And again, we're going to talk about why. But I really love the color, right? So it was a little bit lighter than I thought it was going to be. But either way, I still liked it. And I knew that I was going to be able to work with it. And so I did one layer on each side. And again, I had the fans going on the other side. So it was drying as I was doing the other side. And, I got to do a little dance break because I'm having fun. Okay. I love what I do. Now, this is how I knew that things probably were not going to go my way. So the actual paint spoolie is smaller than the roller. So the roller actually kept on falling off of the spoolie. And so that's what you guys saw. And I had to, I just kind of decided to work around it because I had got the spoolie off of Amazon and I got the roller from Lowe's. And so I just wasn't committed to going back to Lowe's and doing all that. I said, I can make it work. I'm already here. I've already started to prep. And so I just wanted to go ahead and get started. So again, this is me going in with the second layer. And again, I feel like during the second layer is when you can really see the colors shine. And so I could really see the blue start to pop more as I really started to go in with the second layer. And then it also gives me an opportunity to really go into those crevices and really fill those in because I really don't focus on those on the first layer. And so again, just working my way down the door, making sure I get everything nice and coated. And then I'm going to go ahead and work my way to the other side, as you guys can see here. And again, it's time for another dance break. Do not judge me, okay? I love what I do and I'm having a good time. But again, going in with the second layer, and again, just really working my way down the door, working section by section, and just getting in those things that I didn't get in the first time. So again, this is what you guys are seeing. And I will also say that sometimes the way that the light hits the colors definitely makes a difference because the way that it looks on the other side versus the way that it looks on this side is completely different. So when you guys are picking paint colors, just make sure that you look at the color from all different types of light, like white light, yellow light, just to get an idea of exactly how the colors are going to look. So again, me just wrapping up, and I'm about to tell y'all, but this is, again, I should have known that things were just not going to go well this day because things just kept on happening, right? So when I finish the second layer on the other side, I do let it dry for a bit. And then, I think it's safe to go ahead and do the inside. So I slide the door while the fans are going. And unfortunately, a little scrape happened, right? So I cannot have that. And so I decide that I'm just going to go in with another coat and I'm just going to cover it up, right? And mostly on this day, after I finished that third coat, I was done for the day. I said, you know what? I'm going to come back. Now, here's where things went wrong. So first, I ordered 2 different types of paint. So the In the Knit color was from Lowe's, but then I had another can of paint from Amazon. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just layer on top of the other blue with this blue and it'll work out, right? Wrong. So the paint did not dry all the way because it wasn't Sherwin-Williams. And so at this point, I just wanted to get it done. And so I'm just rushing, right? I'm rushing, I'm filling in the stencils, and I know that this stuff is not dry, but I'm still just committing to it because I really wanted to finish. So I'm trying to use the fan. I'm trying to use all all of the things that I have to hurry up and get the paint to dry. And it just wasn't drying, right? The blue layer that I put on, it didn't dry. And then the orange still wasn't dry. And so ultimately, none of it dried in time. So by the time I took the stencils off, none of it was dry. And so I just want to say the biggest learning lesson here is please wait until your head is in the game to do your projects, because if I would have just listened to my mind and my body this day and recognized that I just wasn't in a place to finish the door, then I probably would have logically seen that I probably should have just went to Lowe's and got the same color that I used and did any touch-ups that I needed, and then go back in with the orange, because that was my original plan. But here's the door. Again, nothing dried, so stay tuned for part 2.